Welcome back to the show, everybody. Patranger featuring Lupinranger Another Patren 2号. Now, here's the good thing about being behind like I am. And in most things, and you can take this for a lot of things that has like additional narrative like weaved inside it. It's great when you're able to see things in their actual context. And thanks to the wiki, I was able to know like that this came before the next episode I'm supposed to review. So I wanted to just take some time and sit down and review it. And I'm glad I took some time out to do that, because this does a lot, and it does leave me with a lot of questions that I'm going to lead off with just having nothing and everything to do with what I just watched. What is it with Super Sentais and greens? Like, seriously, like in recent memory, like, what? Go Seiya did that, Go Busters technically did it, and Ninja technically did it. Like, what is it with the color green? You know what I'm saying? Like, we sit up here, we either bring them back later, in a bonus movie, or we kill them off and don't do anything with them. That's Ghost Sage's thing. And I'm like, I'll never forget that tease that they had when they had a chance to really do something with Hyde and then had that and then didn't do it. I'm like, Go Busters is the Dobutsu Sentai, you know what I'm saying? So it's the alternate thing, so it don't really technically count, but it was just something that randomly popped into my head. Something Trinity Strazor, which has nothing to do with this either, but I figured I'd mention that because it reminds me that Dino Charge did zero with that, and I don't need to be reminded that was something so cool. That was something so cool in Koryuja that Dino Charge did nothing with. It was a one-off, the end, and I don't need to be reminded of that. But regardless, let's get to the mix though. Another Patren 2号, right? So, if you remember the first episode, well, actually, technically more of the second episode of the show, we met the Patrangers, and we met them all. You got the hothead, you got the cute girl who loves stuffed animals, and the dude who has a crush on an unrequited one. We don't learn about the second and third things till later, but it's good that this is here to like really set the tone. Like because when I really went back and really thought about like character motivations and characters in general, is that it's good to see that before there was a Sakya, there was a Satoru. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I wonder if the show would have been better if Keiichiro would have had a Satoru to walk with the whole time. You know what I'm saying? It's like you wonder about that, because Kyrie has Tuma, you know what I'm saying? Like, to sit up here and to be like that wisdom that you need, that sometimes that a great leader needs great backup. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, not saying that Keiichiro doesn't have that in Sakya in any way, because this little mini joint proves that Sakya can hang. Because one of the things that I've talked about in episodes that feature him and that feature that character trait of him trying to prove himself, this was an episode where Sakya really stepped up and really proved himself to be a great standby for someone like Keiichiro, who can get a little bit off the rails sometimes because of his hot-headed pursuit of justice. And Tsukasa was just there and there was an ass shot, but that's something else entirely. But I figured I'd mention it. Noelle was there for some reason, because at this point in the episode, at this point in the series, you would have to explain some backstory to a character like that. But it's kind of surprising that Noelle has no idea at this juncture who Satoru is, because we learn later in the episode, L's were taken, just to put that out there, just to give you L's. Lots of those were taken, including the technical almost ultimate L, where you thought Satoru would have died. He didn't. He got moved to France HQ. It surprises me that Noelle knows nothing about this guy. Now, the thing is that you gotta kind of question, is the show going to come back to this? Is the show going to come back to Satoru to try to touch on this? Or is this just a one-off because it was just something that they showed on their streaming service? I'm not sure. But it would be kind of dope if they really came back to this, because again, like I said, I just find it kind of strange that someone as connected as Noel had no idea that Satoru even existed. Yeah, that's just kind of, I don't know, whatever. Zonically, he was there, you know what I'm saying? He put in work, gongler work, you know, that's what you do. Scream at people and then, you know, steal their stuff. I'm like, this technically for real, do you heard what the title of this? Featuring them Indians. Featuring Indians, right? They made an appearance at the beginning, and Keiichiro was freaking out, and they're like, man, let's get up out of here. And then during the fight is that because when Keiichiro was going nuts, he sat up here and got Noel's, I forget what he called that thing. His safe cracker busted, so he couldn't do nothing. So later in the episode, we found out at the end is that boy Kyrie sat up here and let them the Cyclone Dial fighter to like open the safe or whatever, and then get the thing and then hand it back to the squad, because you know we gotta save the people. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is with that. I appreciate things like this because again, I'm like, and I'll say this. It's great sometimes, especially like where I am right now with Cowboys and Indians, to be able to see these things in context as they happen. Movie ain't been subject, so I would have liked to see that in context. Probably won't, but I really need to get back to it because, you know, I got a whole month before the new joints come, and I really want to sit up here, and I'm probably gonna wait for all four of the Battle Royale episodes to come out and just watch them all in one swoop and give y'all the play-by-play or do them separately. I'm not really sure. I'm still trying to decide on that. But this was a good thing to be able to watch in this context because of. So shout out to the Power Rangers wiki for sitting up here and letting me know that this is what's next in continuity. You know what I'm saying? So just that we know. I do still wonder, is the show gonna flip back around to Satoru? Because again, I mentioned Hyde, and I forget dude's name who was supposed to be Day Green in that season, who got murked before they even hit Earth. So they sat up her teased that, and I thought they was gonna really do something with that. And the Ghost Sager really had an opportunity to really do something with that. Metal Alice boobs. So that's what they decided to do, and I'm like, Metal Alice's boobs, wonderful, but you could have really done something, because it's like, for anybody that hasn't watched Ghost Sager, this is a little spoiler. There's this much episode plot where you could have inserted that Green Ranger hide beef thing before you got to what is the end game of Ghost Sager. So I'm just putting that out there. That was one of the few issues I really had with Ghost Sager, but the issues I have with Ghost Sager probably need to be saved for a video. But a couple of minor things, but good Sentai overall. You know what I'm saying? So I just figured I'd put that out there. I'm like, I need to watch the movie with Mito Ranger in it because that's the one thing I haven't watched in Ninja yet. You know what I'm saying? And Dobutsu Sentai Go Busters is a great little V cinema. It's a great. If you haven't watched it, you should definitely watch it after you watch Go Busters, because you should also do that because we call him over there in Zeoland Chicken Nigga. So you know he in that. So if you were interested to see what that is, you can do that. But I'm finna go ahead and get back to the series proper. Let me scratch my head real quick, get back to the series proper, but I'm glad I was able to take a little time, you know, get this knocked out and everything. I know one Minister W will appreciate that we are still in the catch-up spectacular, you know what I'm saying, and we still getting to this Cowboys and Indians. I'm like, he been telling me for a while that this is finna get mad ignorant, and I'm like, and if ain't nobody else that I can believe about this ignorant when it comes to this stuff I watch, I can believe my main man in this winning ministry that things are about to get ignorant. So don't tell me nothing in the comments, dog. Just let me have my speculation, and when we finally get caught up, we gonna rap. So it is what it is. So, regardless of that, we got more show for you. I'm just playing. Look. Patranger featuring Lupinranger Another Patren 2 go in the books. So, sit back, relax, and stay tuned. You know who I am? You know where we at, and you know what we do. We'll be doing more of that and then some for you right after these commercial messages. Man, I gotta get back into this for real though, man. I'm like, yo, gotta get caught up, and I'm like, I'm working on some stuff. You know what I'm saying? I've been saying that, working on some things, trying to get some things together. You'll see what I'm talking about. But regardless, more show after these commercial messages. Did I just wink twice? Wink the third time. Wink a fourth time. Wink, 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 wink. Wink Martindale in it. Let me not even go there. More show after these.